Alright, y'all, fight week is here. I'm about to give you guys my fight week breakdown and prediction of Saul, Canelo, Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia, happening this coming Saturday, live on Amazon pay-per-view. And yeah, man, I mean, I've mentioned this before, that this could be an interesting fight because of the cultures clashing together, the whole Mexican war, Mexican versus Mexican. But it's not going to be anything like Canelo versus Chavez Jr. I don't think so. But at the same time, I know some fans are not going to like seeing this fight because we wanted to see Benavidez versus Canelo. And I do personally as well. But this is the fight that we have in front of us at the moment. So hopefully we get it later on at the end of the year, depending on how this fight turns out, And I've been paying attention to the build-up this coming week. Well, this past week. And yesterday, I saw the press conference between Munguia and Canelo. And I noticed that Canelo got into a situation with Oscar De La Hoya. And we could break down all the details about who won the argument here and there. But the bottom line is, could there be a psychological thing going on that Oscar De La Hoya is trying to use against Canelo the same way that he did against Floyd Mayweather, in some of his fights? And there's a possibility as well. And I've thought about it, and it could be the case, but I don't know if Canelo is the right opponent to be doing that against. Not that Munguia should be afraid of anything coming at him, because he angered Canelo or anything. But I don't see Canelo, how that could detriment Canelo, be at Canelo's detriment, where he's fighting a fight that is not too smart, where he's getting hit a little bit more and all that, because Canelo's style is pro offense, and there's nothing that indicates that he would just backpedal or fight a certain way negatively, But matter of fact, it would probably be a lot more effective for him to be on the offense against a guy like Munguia when you think about it, because that's pretty counterintuitive if that's what Oscar wants, is for Canelo to go forward and he expects Canelo to get knocked out. And I don't know, but I think Oscar should know better because he's promoted Canelo and seen him fight numerous amount of times against all of these big punchers, and not any of them could budge Canelo, besides maybe that one point early on in his career. But other than that, that was when he was at a lower weight class at 147 pounds. And we're now talking about a Canelo more than a decade later at 168 pounds. So that's not really a good argument that's not really a good strategy for De La Hoya to be implementing that type of a psychological edge on Canelo, or tactic, I should say. But overall, let's talk about the fight, since we got all of those formalities out of the way. And I could see this fight playing out in Munguia's favor early in the fight, And I could see him winning off based off of him being busy. And Canelo slipping a lot of his shots, a lot of them, to be honest. But some of them are going to get through, and some of them might actually get Canelo's attention. And there's going to be a time in the fight where Canelo's going to be landing a whole lot of body shots more frequently than the earlier rounds. And I know he's going to land body shots in the earlier rounds, check hook to the body, check left hook to the body, and some uppercuts here and there if Munguia tends to open up. Because I noticed that Munguia loves to open up a lot, as I've said before in my brief outline. And in some of his later fights, he started to close that gap a little more in terms of his defense, but he's still defensively fought. Let's not get that twisted. And I could see that Canelo exploiting. I could see Canelo exploiting that. I mean, he's the perfect style to exploit it against Munguia. And I could see mid rounds where Canelo is starting to land a lot more in volume compared to Munguia, because Munguia would be slowing down at this point because he used up all of his defense trying to hit Canelo in the earlier rounds, and some of it got through, and some of it might have actually gotten Canelo's attention to where Canelo might be a little bit more tired, but much later on in the fight than Jaime Munguia. And Munguia is going to start to tire out within the 6th or 7th round. And he's going to be landing shots here and there. He might actually hit Canelo one more time, and it's really going to hurt Canelo. But at the same time, I think Canelo will recover and make a comeback in the later rounds and start catching Munguia with some nasty uppercuts. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up knocking out Munguia with an uppercut in the later rounds, or knocking him down, which I'm predicting for Canelo to be knocking down Munguia in, I would say, the 10th or 11th round. But I think Munguia will get up and try to recover, but maybe in the 12th round he might end up outworking Canelo, because Canelo would be wasting his energy after that knockdown trying to take out Munguia. But Munguia's too young, has that youthful energy to the point where it's going to be hard for Canelo to take him out of there, because Canelo is going to be slowing down in the later part of the fight, because Canelo is aging, believe it or not. He's in his mid-30s, and he's at a higher weight class at 168 pounds. And if you notice about his frame can only take him so far, in terms of his stamina and all of that. But I think this fight goes the full 12 rounds. At first, I was picking a knockout, but I think this goes to the cards, and I'm picking Canelo by a unanimous decision. Maybe 8-4, I would say. Might be a little bit closer than most people realize, but I think the knockdown is going to make the big difference in the fight. And Canelo's clean punching, obviously, because he's known for that in most of his fights. And Munguia's work rate is going to be overlooked because he was missing a lot of the shots early on in the fight against Canelo. So I'm picking Canelo by unanimous decision, 8-4. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section. Who do you got winning this fight? And are you picking Munguia? Are you a big believer in Munguia? Or are you picking Canelo? You think Canelo is going to make easy work of Munguia, or the other way around? So let me know. I'm out. Peace.